There we go. All right. 3, 2, and 1. Well, Gaylene, welcome back. Mayor's Monday here at WSAU and WSAU.com. Been a couple of months here. Things have not slowed down in the village of Red Mountain at all. I think that's fair to say. Can you give us an idea of what kind of development is happening? Because it sounds like the area of Lilac Avenue, where my Chick-fil-A is going. Yes, I call it my Chick-fil-A and will continue to do so. Tongue in cheek, of course. The Chipotle and then Quick Trip. That area is going to be really popping over the next few months for residents.
Yeah, it's just to start, I mean, if you drive by that area by the interchange, you'll see that there is a building. It is being built, and that is Chipotle. So that's the Chipotle building. I've been told it could be late summer, early fall, so I don't have the exact date. Sometimes that's not known until further down the road, and then all of a sudden it's done and ready. The other one, obviously, I would suspect would probably be 7 Brew would be the next one. So they'll be right in that same area. So if you like coffee, you have another coffee place to go to. And obviously the favorite, the Chick-fil-A, that's coming in too. A lot of questions about that. We suspect that's going to be sometime potentially in 2026. Obviously that's the last of the 3 buildings that are being built. Quick Trip, you mentioned Quick Trip. If you go by there now, you'll see like on the back end, there's some construction. It's just a minor addition to the building, some kitchen facilities, expansion. So that's what's going on there. But yeah, Lilac Avenue, that's our major road project. I always try to tell people when we do road projects, it's anywhere every 4 to 5 years we'll have that project. And that's this year.
Yes.
So on top of that, in that area, and that is going to impact the area where Chipotle and Chick-fil-A is coming. That area is Lilac Avenue. It is due to probably start construction this summer. So we're talking potentially late June. And that area will have sidewalks, so some pedestrian facilities, and obviously some better traffic movement for that area to kind of guide that development that's in that area.
Yes, because that is the one thing that everybody is concerned about with the way that area has grown. Obviously, you've had some in-demand restaurants in that area already before Chipotle and Chick-fil-A, which are 2 that the region has been clamoring for a while. The only one they've been clamoring for longer is Red Lobster, but we're not going to touch that right now. We all saw the viral social media marketing for that last week, but we cannot confirm that Red Lobster is coming to Red Mountain. No.
Someone may know more than me, and sometimes I always say that sometimes the people, residents know more than I do, and then all of a sudden we'll get a sign permit like, wow, they were right.
Yeah.
So that usually confirms it.
But not right now. But that area is going to be one that's kind of people are concerned about. They'll say, wait, I might not go to that restaurant because traffic in that area is just too much of a headache. But you are going to be working on that here in the next few months to try and alleviate some of those headaches.
Yep, and then on top of that, and we don't have a time frame quite yet, but we are working with the Department of Transportation as well for the interchange. So if you're coming on US 51 northbound and you want to get on the Red Mountain Drive, currently you only have one right-hand turn lane that goes northbound. Working with the DOT, they agreed. We got a HISP grant. It was a safety grant to help pay for having 2 lanes now that will feed onto Red Mountain Drive going northbound, and only 1 lane that will go towards the DMV, Red Mountain State Park. That will be just 1 lane turning to the left. So between those things and then what we're doing on Lilac Avenue, we're doing our best to try to accommodate and also keeping in mind, bike and pedestrian safety.
Yeah, because again, you don't want to have that reputation at all where people say, you know what, we're not going over there. We might like that chicken sandwich, but we just don't want to put up with the traffic. That's something that you certainly don't want to be hearing from the residents.
Right. And then we did do median improvements. That's already done. We did do the turn lane at Valiant Way. So again, that's all part of the bigger picture to help improve that area traffic wise.
Yes. So those were the big projects that are coming up here this year. I know you've got some stuff also bubbling under the surface. One of those would be a park project. And as far as recreation goes, in fact, I just saw the sign out there. You've got the tagline there where recreation is part of it. You want you're going to have some kayak launch points coming in here in the next year, right?
Right. Funny story. We found out not long ago that the village of Red Mountain actually had jurisdiction or actually ownership of an island. Take advantage of that.
Something that did not come up in the submittal,
No, we
right?
just didn't realize that we had this nice island. And so I give credit to our park commissioners. We have a couple pretty active people on our park commission. They're going to be turning in that. It is now, its official name is, I'm going to make sure it's correct. It's Snake Bridge Island. So anybody who's been in the Wausau area for a long time remembers Snake Bridge, which now was replaced with McCleary Bridge. So it kind of weaved around. So that is sort of where the island sits between the current McCleary Bridge and where Snake Bridge was. So that area, we got a grant. We're working to put equipment on there. So we got a grant for putting in benches, and we're putting in a fire pit type thing. But again, we're not going to, it's a kayak only accessible park. And so we'll be working on that. Got the equipment. We just had to wait we unfortunately got the equipment right between the thaw and now. And so we couldn't exactly take it across the ice because the ice was gone. So we're going to be hopefully in the next probably month be able to get the equipment delivered over to the island. So again, it's a kayak accessible park, and it'll be neat. I'm not sure if we have one of those type of parks in the Red Mountain area, so that will be a great addition to the community.
Kayak accessible only. I'm guessing that's just like it sounds. It's not like an area that you're going to be able to walk across the bridge to. You'll have to actually get out there on your kayak.
Except during the winter when it's ice, but I
Right.
wouldn't necessarily recommend it in advertising. So it's
Right.
it's meant to be a kayak canoe type of accessible park.
So, and I mentioned it, this didn't come up in the submittal. What we mean there is the submittal to incorporate from a village to a town.
Right.
Part of that is you have to be able to account for all of your land mass. Obviously, this is something that kind of fell through the cracks. So tell us just exactly how you discovered that the village actually has jurisdiction over this island.
Yeah, well, people noticed that there was, I think we had complained about potential, I don't know if there was structures being built on there. I'm like, wait a minute, is that even ours? So when we did a little research on it and found out, because I'm sure someone has been accessing that island already. And so when we discovered that, lo and behold, we found out that actually is a village of Red Mountain jurisdiction, and nobody owns it but the village of Red Mountain. So that's how we discovered when we had somebody complain about certain things were being built or something on there. So I don't know if somebody was trying to create the park before we even got a chance to create the park. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and so now how many square feet then have you added officially to the village, or unofficially, officially? Do you know?
Yeah,
number?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head how, it's not a very big island, so it's not that much space, but obviously enough for us to create a very small park. And we're going to try to work with, we talked about working with scouts, the local scout troops to see if we can do some cleanup on it, and also maybe potential Eagle Scout project to put some additional signage, maybe some history of the Snake Bridge Island. That would be a great project to consider as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And the more, again, things like this come up all the time, and all of a sudden, boom, you've got more park space to take care of. But it sounds like you've got a good plan for it as well.
Yeah, and the idea is if it gets abused, then we'll have to revisit the whole issue of keeping the park there. But we're hoping that people will honor the rules of the park, making sure that what you bring in, you take out.
Absolutely. Later this week, you're going to be at the convention and visitors, or the Greater Wausau Convention and Visitors Bureau Chamber Expo. The Chamber Expo. There we go. I'm getting my.
No, that's okay.
My groups mixed up here, but yes, the Chamber Expo is coming up here. Give us an idea of what you're going to be doing at the Chamber Expo, because I know a lot of these businesses kind of want to make sure people know that they're located in the village of Rib Mountain.
So yes, for the greater Rib Mountain area, we like to showcase our community at the Business Expo. It's an opportunity for us to make connections with some of our vendors and actually local businesses. So we've had a booth for many years now, and it's always been a great opportunity, not only for our elected officials to get involved, the staff gets involved. We encourage everybody, hey, you want to go to the booth, you can help be part of the booth, and we do that. But one of the things that we're trying to do this year is hand out cards. We have these proudly located in Rib Mountain. One of the things that we would like to showcase, since we are a village, and then, Rib Mountain's always been Rib Mountain, and certainly we've taken pride in our community. But, it's kind of important us to remain with our identity. That's all part of being who we are, is our identity. Rib Mountain is alone that way, as far as there is no town of Rib Mountain, there's a village of Rib Mountain now. So we're going to showcase and hand out to our local businesses that would like to showcase the fact that they're proudly located in Rib Mountain. And that would be wonderful. We really do like to showcase the businesses, especially the businesses that indicate that they are located in the community and identify it as Rib Mountain. It's easy to say, well, because you're using Wausau, Wisconsin, and your address, even though you now can use Rib Mountain. But people continue to say Wausau, Wisconsin. I'm sure that held true for Weston when they incorporated, and Corona Wetter when they incorporated as well. But we really would like to kind of showcase and really thank the businesses that are located in our community, and especially if they can proudly showcase that they are located in Rib Mountain.
Yeah, because you still see it sometimes that people will say that this business is located in Wausau, and the address will say Rib Mountain Drive. And, in your head, you can kind of correct that and say, okay, well, that business is actually located Rib Mountain Drive, which is on the other side of the bridge of the Wisconsin River. That's actually in Rib Mountain.
Correct.
But for those outside the area, they can't always make that correlation. And it's not a big deal, but it's still a point of pride for
absolutely
for everybody,
for us. It is absolutely so. But there are businesses though that they'll identify themselves as Rib Mountain. So we're really happy with that, and we'd like to continue with that campaign is to showcase that you are and proud to locate in our community.
Anything else you'd like us to know then before we let you go?
We are doing a community outreach. We advertise this in our community newsletter. May 29th, we're doing an event, first of its kind for our community, as far as sort of some communities do what they call citizens academies. But what we're doing is doing it one night. We're going to have a couple food trucks here in the parking lot. This is on Thursday, May 29th, starting at 4 o'clock. If you want to learn about Badger books and how they work for your voting, you can learn about that. Our village assessor will be here. Yes, we are going through a reval, so he will be here to show what is he doing, how does he determine values. We'll have the Marathon County Sheriff's Department. Obviously, we have a relationship with the Marathon County deputies and have assigned deputies here. We'll showcase what each of us do as a department, and so people have a better understanding about our community, our village, and what we do. So it'll be a nice open opportunity. We figure food will be a good way to bring people in.
Yeah, always is. And actually, Food Truck Day is coming back this year, isn't it? It
is. Too? So that actually is a separate event, even though we're going to have food trucks at this one.
Right.
But we had our food truck night last September, and it was phenomenal. It had great success. Matter of fact, we had food trucks that ran out of food. So what we're going to do, we're bringing it back. It'll be held at Depke Recreation Area again, and it'll be September 11th. So we're trying to work with the fire department since it is September 11th, see if there's something we can do in honor and remembrance of September 11th. But it is going to be at Depke. Obviously, if things get too muddy and rainy and it ends up being bad weather, we'll move the location here if we need to.
And before we wrap up, I do want to give you the opportunity to plug a great thing you're going to be part of. You are actually going to be part of the NFL draft later this week. So for everybody from Wausau, that's going to be part of the, I call it the 250,000 people mass that's going to descend on Lambeau Field this week. How do they help support a cause that you're going to be a part of? It's not necessarily a village cause.
No, this is actually support of the Wausau School District and some of the organizations that rely on fundraising. So yes, absolutely. So I'll be working the NFL draft. I had an opportunity to work about 3 NFL games last year. Worked on a pretty cold one, working concessions.
Yes.
So yeah, I'll be able to come back. I had an opportunity to come back and help out for the NFL draft. Again, supporting the Wausau School District and some of the fundraising activities for some of the clubs and sports and et cetera that receive the benefit from that. So it's a great chance. We appreciate the not only the Green Bay Packers, but the NFL giving us an opportunity to continue to do that and help support those clubs and activities that rely on fundraising.
Yep. So it's going to be a concession stand at the draft. Do you know which one yet?
No, they kind of sent it in a little bit of a code, so I haven't figured out quite yet. But I'm open to anything. It'll be a fun activity. I'm sure it's gonna be a lot better than it was on that last game.
Oh, no doubt.
Where I froze and my toes were cold.
No doubt.
So I'm sure the weather will be a lot better this time around, and it'll be neat. I'm excited.
Yeah, at least it looks like we are going to have good weather for the draft in Green Bay, because again, who knows when this is going to come back around and we'll get another opportunity like this. So
absolutely,
we're gonna take it, and we'll hopefully make it a great time for everybody who's coming in and seeing, getting that Wisconsin hospitality for the first time.
Right.
Well, Gaylene, we always appreciate the time. We'll look forward to chatting again in the future.
Yeah, thank you.